Hi, everybody. Welcome to 5 Minute Ministries. There's a saying that says something to the effect, it's not what I say or think that defines who I am. It's what I do that defines me. Now, obviously, to a degree, that is very true. Even Jesus alluded to that when he said, "By their fruits you shall know them." What we do shows others who we are, at least to a degree. It allows others to define us, and it helps us to define ourselves. Because obviously we can say one thing and we can do another and be labeled a hypocrite. But what we do is not the only determining factor, is it? Because there are people who do really good things but are condemned because of their words. They can give to charities, they can help the poor, they can do all kinds of things for people. But because of something they said on the internet or something they said to another person, that person is condemned for life because of their words. I think of a president who brought two nations together and won a Nobel Peace Prize, but because of the things he says, he's condemned by many people as an arrogant, rude, evil person. Now, there's another man who made what everybody wants, what even our government wants, to take away fossil fuels and have electric vehicles. One man made one, and he sells them by the thousands. But he's considered an evil man. But he did good work that everybody seems to want. So his words condemned him as well. Now, the Bible also tells us that our words do condemn us. And the Bible tells us we will be held accountable for every careless word we utter. James tells us that the tongue is a fire, and it's a small flame, but it makes a huge amount of damage, just like any match would. You light a match, you throw it in the woods, it can cause a huge forest fire. You light a match, throw it in the corner of your house, you will burn your house down. So our words are very condemning. And we need to be careful about the things we say, not just the things we do. And we also have to think about the things that we think, because our thoughts also can condemn us. Now, while people can't read our thoughts, at least not yet, maybe someday in the future science will come up with something. I hope not, by the way. But God certainly knows our thoughts, and we can convince ourselves of anything. So we have to, as the Bible tells us, to take every thought captive, because our words, our actions, and our thoughts can either condemn us or edify us. They can curse the name of God, or they can bless the name of God. So we need to take all of these into account. And I want you to think about those things. Don't just focus on your actions, because you can do all these bad things, but be a nice person. That's happened all the time. There are plenty of people in jail, they did bad things, but everyone says, but they're such good people. They're so nice. And while that may be true, their actions condemn them in that case. So we need all three of them. And as a follower of Christ, if you are one listening to this, you need to pay attention to that, because our thoughts, words, and actions will get people to reject Christ if we're not careful. And if they're going to reject Christ, it should be because we are doing God's will and not our own. It should be we are living the life of Christ and not living life the world's way. That we are reacting in a proper way. We are reacting biblically, and we are not reacting in the flesh. I know it's a lot to do. We have to constantly do that. But that's why we have the Bible, that's why we have the Holy Spirit, and that's why we have prayer. Those things will help us in doing so. God has provided Himself, His Word, and communication with Him in order for us to be able to live the life that He wants us to live, to show the world that not only there is a God, but there are people who truly want to follow Him and want to serve Him properly. Now, if you are listening to this and you are not saved, you do not belong to Christ, you do not follow Him, I will encourage you not only to do so, but to think about your thoughts, your words, and your actions. Because the world goes based on how they feel, and I've done several messages on that. But I want you to take into account if your words, your thoughts, and your actions, any one of those would be condemning. I want you to think about that and remember that God will hold you accountable for those things. This has been 5 Minute Ministries, and I'll see you next time.